a possibility of an Anioma state. But now, there is going to be something to give and something to take. It means then that there's a possibility for other regions of the country to have their own state. But how would this play out in the whole scheme of things? One of the major proponents of these and the pusher in the National Assembly is a senator representing Delta North in the National Assembly, Senator Ned Nwoko, who is live for us here. Senator, thanks so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Your face has been all over the media in the last few days.
You know, it happens.
For personal family reasons.
It happens.
I hope everything is calm.
Well, we are
trying
to manage the situation.
Yeah?
Yes.
You're a man of many parts.
Yes.
People underestimate you, though.
Oh, do they?
Your capacity.
Well, I am who I am.
You're an Old Testament man.
Yes, I am.
But everything is on the cam right now.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's not the business of the day, so let's go to the business of the day.
The man of many parts indeed. The Old Testament man that so much love the New Testament. Let's go.
Why are you advocating? You are the major pusher, especially on the floor of the Senate. And you have argued with your colleagues the need for an Anioma state. And don't even begin the conversation around marginalization, because that's the first thing, because people will say, we have Southwest 6 states. South, 6 states, Northeast 6 states, North Central 6 states, Northwest 7 states, but Southeast 5 states. Is that part of the agenda to fix the Southeast that seems to be smaller in terms of the number of states, or what?
Well, almost just over a year ago, I had a meeting with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, where I discussed about the problems of Southeast, the insecurity in Southeast. You know, what do we do to address it? And he knows the problems, and he also has an idea. The whole idea is that there should be some level of equity extended to the Igbos of Southeast by having an additional state. It wasn't going to be an easy task, you know, to create one, but it is doable. And I'm happy that we have come this far. The point is this: even at that time, it was understood that the problems of Southeast, the agitations of the youths of Southeast, the killings there, the referring to the ESN groups and ESN and IPOB and the rest of them. These are young people who have come up to say that they are fighting for freedom because they are marginalized. And one of the areas that they've all spoken about and against is the fact that they are the only zone. Southeast is the only zone in Nigeria that has 5 states. Why is that? Why was it done intentionally to undermine them? Of course, yes. And from engaging those youths, it became so obvious that if a step is taken in creating one state, just one state, to bring it apart with the 5 other zones, let's leave Northwest out of this now, at least bring it apart to the 4 other zones, then something would have been done for them. You know, yes, they are clamoring for different things, but I mean, not least, of course, the release of Nnamdi Kanu. They're asking for it. We know that that is something that has to be done. You know, it was just
Nnamdi Kanu to be
oh yes, yeah, of course.
Why do you think so?
Nnamdi Kanu has been in custody for some time now. I believe that he has been held unjustly. Many people feel that way.
As a lawyer, do you think so?
Oh yes, yes.
That the judicial process is unjust?
Yes, yeah. No, it has been. There's a lot of delays in prosecuting him and all that. If you want to get him tried and convicted, get on with it. You know. But this is a guy who has been unjustly aside, for so many months.
And the Buhari government started it.
I'm not talking about this government.
Trial. No, so the point I'm even making now.
I'm talking about the previous government under Buhari when
it's facing a judicial process right now. Yes. Saying it's just because the argument is that there should be a political solution, maybe a null prosecution. Prosecution should be established on that for the case to be withdrawn. But there are those who say, well, there are allegations and it's left for the law for him to have his day in court, which is in process.
But as you know, there has been some pronouncements by the Federal High Court, which has not been respected. So his incarceration is the main reason for the crisis in Southeast.
But the crisis started before he was even arrested.
No.
The killings, the burning of police station, the killing of police officers and all whatnot.
Well, look, the problem in Southeast is very different from what is in the Northeast or Northwest and all those areas. The problem in the Southeast has to do with the perceived injustice by governments, successive governments. So what needs to be done? And one of it's why I'm here today, talking about the creation of states to make up the number of up to 5. And then you have the release of Nnamdi Kanu. By the time you do these two things, I am almost certain that peace will return to Southeast.
Let me ask you this question.
I have spoken to so many youths in Southeast, from Southeast, and they have assured me that that they are prepared to be engaged by us, by the leadership. When this is done, they don't want to die. The youths don't want to die. They want to go back to schools. They want to go back to their jobs. All they want is some level of respect and acknowledgement by the nation, by the government of Nigeria.
I want to ask you, and this exists in almost every region of the country, where you have your brothers in different states and all whatnot. Are there Igbos outside of the 5 states of the Southeast in Nigeria today?
Well, I'm surprised you're asking.
No, because for the sake of our...
Yes, for the sake of your listeners.
Yeah.
Let me say this. When it was Western Nigeria, when we had Western Nigeria, I'm sure you've heard of some people being described as Western Igbos. Subsequently, when Midwest was created, by referendum, as you know, they were called Midwest Igbos. Then the name changed to Bendel. They were called Bendel Igbos. And of course, Delta came up with Edo State, and now they're called the Delta Igbos. And that is their Nyomas, the people, our people.
9 local governments
areas
in that senatorial district.
And we are almost completely Igbos. Of course, there are arguments about some areas, some people have come from Igala or come from Benin. But the fact is that, according to Delta State gazetted laws, there are only 5 ethnic groups in Delta: the Yorubas, the Igbos, the Ejos, the Shekiris, and the Isokos. There's no mention of Benin. There's no mention of Yorubas or also within Delta North.
Apart from Delta North, there are those who say, and you might be touching the wrong nerve here.
So actually, I'm surprised on this question you asked Nwoko, that is it only in the East that they have Igbos? Let me even tell you now, for you to know it, that we have Igbos in Benue and Kogi. Mind you, I'm not talking about the whole Kogi or the whole Benue. I'm talking about the eastern part of Kogi and the eastern part of Benue. Go and check it up. For instance, when you go to Kogi, yes, the 2 local governments where you have the Igbos in Kogi are Ibaji and Igamela Odoju. Yes, check it up. And in these 2 local governments, you have about 21 communities, Igbo communities. We have Amambo, Ugwuayi, Omuchima, yes, Ameke, Uguwana, all these things plus ATC, others, about 21 communities of Igbos in Kogi. Now, listen again, when you go to Benue State, we have the local government where you find the Igbos are what? Ado, Oju, Obi. These 3 local governments in Benue is where you're going to find the Igbos. And when you go there, you see that Izi and Iza are Igbo communities that they move into Benue State. Yes. So it's not a hidden thing. Everybody is aware of that. Are we talking about rivers? Are we talking about Edo? We still have our brothers and sisters in Edo, in Ebanke. There are others that I can't remember now. So I don't know why they intentionally did it in order to reduce our population, to shrink the Igbos. I don't even know what they are trying to achieve, to make us look, not to be relevant in anything. And some people call us dot in a circle. People say the Igbo land is landlocked, is earthlock, is waterlock, whatever, trying to put fear in the Igbos. Even if we are, of course, we know that the Igbo land is not landlocked, even if we are. Is it not our land? There are a lot of people that are landlocked, other nations, they are doing perfectly well. Even if we don't have anything, God has already blessed the Igbos with brain. Japan does not have any single mineral resources, but they've developed with their brain. So I don't know the fear they are trying to put us. Igbo man can never be intimidated, can never be subjugated. Just give us what others have. Give us what you have given others. In any place, without justice and equity, there can never be peace. Yes? The ingredients of what? Justice and equity is peace. Peace will just come naturally. So you don't force peace. Peace comes naturally when you have laid its foundation. Let's continue.
In River State, for example,
Yeah.
there are Igbos there.
Oh, of course, yeah.
The Equeries.
Opobos.
Or the Opobos.
They're everywhere. Igbos are everywhere. Igbos actually.
So if you create, for example, are you hoping that they will join the Anoma State, or Anoma State is going to solely from your proposition and the literature that they have put forward, is going to be solely from the 9 local government areas of Delta North?
Look, initially, my bill was centered around the 9 local government areas of Delta North. And however, a lot has happened since then. But if you look at the explanatory note to my bill, it talks about the Anoma State to become the 6th state of the Southeast, the 37th state of the country.
Does the Southeast, so the 5 states in the Southeast see you as Igbos?
Of course, yes.
And I've heard, I don't speak much of Igbo, but I've heard
I can tell you, look,
the 45 Igbos of the Anomas.
No. Every language has dialects. Every language, even Yorubas, from Lagos to Oyo to...
Even the Enugu Igbo is different from the Abia Igbo, is different from the Onitsha Igbo.
Of course, yes. But we are all Igbos. Anoma is historically an Igbo enclave. And there's no doubt about that. From our names to our language, to our culture, our tradition, our food, everything is Igbo. And we have always identified ourselves as Igbos. Of course, there were 2 reasons why, for so many, almost like centuries, we were kept at the back burner, kind of confined to Western Nigeria. And why most people some people from my area seem to have gotten to the point where they were not sure whether they were Igbos or not Igbos. But majority of us understand who we are and understand where we've come from. And let me just explain what I mean. There are, during the war, the Civil War, most people, we had the Asaba massacre. After the Asaba massacre and the rest of the killings within our area, we were told as kids that if you see Nigerian soldiers, you must not admit that you are Igbo. You must tell them that you're from Benin or that you are Yoruba.
Did you hear what our brother Paned Nwoko said, that they have to deny who they are? They have to deny their Igbo origin in order not to get paid. For some of them to get appointment, that's why they denied who they are. Did you see the kind of subjugation, intimidation that you are seeing in Nigeria against the Igbos? Imagine that. Yes, I remember this our sister that act film, Stella Damasus. Yes, she came up recently and said that her real name, her father's real name was Stella Ojukwu. But because once they hear anything Igbo, they have to change their name. The father have to change his name to Stella Damasus so that they will be able to be eating Otherwise, that they would have died out of kwashiorkor or whatever. The man has to go and change his surname to Damaso. Did you see the one we are talking about?
Her name was Ojukwu, but that changed during the war, during the Biafran War, where my people were attacked in Asaba because they thought that it was the same Ojukwu as Odumegwu and all of that. So they changed it even before I was born. So I was born into Damascus. And when I asked why, that was the reason they gave me. So I can't do anything about it now.
And that's why the reason you see most of them, they are Chukwu Emeka Chinedu. They say they are not Igbo. You see somebody bearing Ndeka, Chukwu, I'm not Igbo. It's so bad. This is bad. Let's continue.
What kind of things that we had to do to survive the ethnic cleansing that happened at that time. So, of course, there was also this issue of Benin Empire. You know, at the time there was a Benin Empire where, the Benin at its height extended their tentacles to our area. So most of that, some people began to think that they were Benis, but we're not Benis, we're Igbos. There's nothing Benin about us.
So you have people from Agbo, from Kwale, part of. I'm looking at the major areas of the north, the north now that we now seed into what we now be called Anioma state. The question is the Ukwani people. They are opposing it.
No, they are not. No.
And have you heard some of the leaders who say they are vehemently opposing it?
They're just some vocal guys who are.
You see some charlatans, some hungry charlatans will be paid peanuts. Oh yeah, go to any station. Go and oppose what this Nwoko is saying, that we are not Igbo. Go and oppose it. Those charlatans will be paid peanuts because they know that once Igbo unite, the unification is Igbo is fear. To them, they will come and say, we are not Igbo, we are not going to join you. We are even the name Ukwani, is it not Igbo, my people? Ukwani, is it not Igbo? Those charlatans will come and be talking what I don't even understand. Your name is Igbo, you are Chukwudi, you are Chukwu Emeka, you are Ngozi, you will come and say you are not. Go and change now. Why are you not answering Osas, Osanobua, all this Benin name if you actually come from Benin? Please, let's go.
So they don't want to be part of Southeast because they are not Igbos. But they are just few and far between. There are very few of them.
Out of the 9 local governments.
Out of the 9 local governments.
How many of those are Igbo speaking?
All of them.
Of the 9.
All of them. We all speak Igbo.
Ukwani don't speak Igbo.
Oh, they do.
Ukwani people they majorly speak Igbo.
No, they speak Igbo. Ukwani speak Igbo. The Ikas speak Igbo. They call it the Ika Igbo, as you know. And there is no Anioma son or daughter without an Igbo name. You ask yourself.
Is there a general consensus of all the 9 local government areas
to create a name? Of course, yes. Because this has been a long-standing agitation. As you know, it didn't start with me. It started with the second Senate President in Federal Republic of Nigeria, that's Sir Dennis Osaribe, so many years ago, over 70 years ago.
But economically speaking, Senator, how do we defend this? We're already complaining that we have to overbloated government.
We've gone beyond that. Delta North is rich economically. We out of the 9 local government areas, 6 of those local government areas are oil and gas producing.
And Anioma can feed itself.
Anioma, of course, completely.
What are the potentials?
I've just told you. We have
apart from oil and gas.
We have huge deposits of oil and gas. That is a lot because we have the largest gas deposit in Africa. You should know that. In the coordination. Then, of course, we have agricultural lands. We have Delta North is the home of Nollywood. I'm sure you know that. And we have most of the big businesses in Nigeria, the television houses or media are from, or banking sector are from Anioma. I'm sure you know that. So we are more than self-sufficient.
Are the Delta people happy with this plan?
But we've gone beyond this.
No,
now.
The reason is that
let me tell you, we've gone beyond this now because at the retreat 2 days ago in Lagos, the consensus between the House and the Senate committees on constitutional amendment is that there should be 1 state for Southeast
to make it
6.
So we have 7.
Yes, and then after that, then there will be 1 state per zone to make it 7-7, to bring it apart with Northwest.
Well, I'm not sure Nigerians are happy with more states. The ones that we have, at some point they were they couldn't feed themselves. They couldn't pay salaries. Now we're going to be creating. How do you convince the average Nigerian that really creation of states is the way to go?
Are you aware that in Delta State, for example, that we have the largest allocation every month? Largest allocation for FAC. Are you aware of that? And this comes from oil and gas resources. Delta North has almost 40% of that allocation. And that 40% is more than what you have in maybe Ebonyi or in Enugu or in Zamfara. So we are much more ready than most current states. We have the resources. That's not the issue.
So as a lawyer, quickly.
Shehu, you are also asking some question here as if you are also scared of the unification of the Igbos, because the unification of the Igbos is the beginning of wisdom for a lot of people that doesn't want Igbos to unite, because they won't know that once Igbo unite, it will be a big force to reckon with. Give us what you have given to others. We need equality. Give us what you have given to others. Those states, those regions that have 7 states, what do they have? What do they have? Much less the Eastern people that God has blessed with a lot of resources have even our brain. Give us what you give to others. Forget the way we are going to personalize or take care of whatever. Let it be our problem or our concern, okay? Let's continue.
Because we're due for another break. As a lawyer, if you look at the position of the Constitution in state creation, in delineation, boundary adjustment, and local government creation, is very clear of how, the processes on how to create a state. Have you met that criteria as stipulated by the Constitution, where the Constitution stipulates that there will be a referendum in the areas, in all of the areas, where this state creation proposition is coming from? Have you been able to meet that?
Of course, yes. Referendum will come in the next few weeks, I'm sure, or months. Almost certainly before the end of the year. We've gotten the guidelines, and for this particular creation of a Anoma state, the referendum will not be limited to just the 9 local government areas. It will extend to all the 5 southeastern states, because we are trying to take the slot that belongs to southeastern states.
Why are you so passionate about this?
Because it's an institution that's been 70-something years. But by our forefathers,
what if this fails, if it doesn't happen?
Well, it's life. You know, at least we would have tried our best. But who would have thought that we would have gotten to where we are now? Who would have thought so? So it's something that our forefathers fought for. They traveled and traversed across the country trying to, lobby, trying to, ask others to support them. But now we're doing it from within National Assembly, through a bill, as I said, and there is really nothing that will stop it.
All right, give me a moment. We need to go on the break. But when we come back, in truth, if this goes through and passes through all of the processes of lawmaking in the National Assembly, what are the implications? Will these douse all of the agitation and quiet the noises coming from the southeast region of the country? What are the dynamics politically, economically, and culturally? We'll be right back after this break, everyone. Been pushing for a Anoma state alongside some members of the National Assembly. But is it personal for him? Is it one that everyone has keyed into, or is just acting all by himself in all of this? How far would this go? Senator, in all of this, what gives you the optimism that this is going to be successful?
I am an optimist generally, and there's really nothing that I've put my mind to that I've not achieved. I remember many years ago, I told them I wanted to build a sports university. They said, but why sports university? And I said, look, there's need for a sports university. Many people didn't believe it would happen, but now we are in our 3rd year running. Many years ago, I said I wanted to go to Antarctica. People said, but why do you want to go to Antarctica? Nobody goes there. And I did, just to prove a point. And then, of course, when I started to work on the Paris Club reforms, people said, but it's not possible to take British government to court. It's not possible to take the American government to court or the French. I said, well, it is doable. And I did.
You have done so many impossible things.
Of course, yes. So
this, personally, you have done many impossible
things. Tell me what it is. But
you married 4 wives. That's almost impossible. Isn't it?
That's another
kettle of...
another topic for
discussion. We need a lecture on how you can be able to achieve that.
Every man should do that. Every man should do that.
The Bible does not prescribe that.
Oh, the Old Testament does.
So you're a man of Old Testament.
I am a man of
planning to marry more?
I'm a man of faith. Yes.
You're planning to marry more?
Well, look, that's not what you're here for. You know?
I'm just asking. By the way, you have 4. I mean, how did you achieve that? That's incredible.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you have a wife. But you also have girlfriends. That's different.
No, I don't actually.
Come on,
I'm a Christian. 1 wife. That's what the Bible preaches.
I will make some research. Do some research about you.
Please do. Find out. But in all of this, how do you manage it? Because it's incredibly difficult to even manage being with a partner. Not talk of 1, 2, 3, and 4. You don't have any regrets.
The example I gave is this. Just imagine telling you to stand on 1 foot, on 1 leg. You know how difficult it is. But to stand on 2, 3, 4 is much more balanced. That's just the example I gave.
Wow.
Do you understand it? So I feel sorry for those who have 1 wife, because it's difficult to stand on 1 leg.
And you don't have any regrets?
No.
If you have your way, you still marry more.
I will do the same thing again and again. Of course, yes.
And you have a knack of marrying beautiful women.
Wow.
And young ones too.
This is the way it is. And that's the way it should be.
But you're not the ones that beats them.
You should marry who you want to marry.
You're not the one that beats them.
No, come on. I am not a violent person. I respect my wives. I love them. And I love my kids. No, not at all. Not at all.
All right. So the impossibility brought us there. That's not the topic. The impossibility brought. There are those who say, legally speaking, procedurally, this is almost impossible.
No, it is not. What is impossible about it? I remember when I discussed it with the president, as I was saying before, he assured me before I left PDP to APC that he will support it as long as we at the National Assembly are able to do our work. And our work is almost done, because by the time we get to the...
You said a lot of people think that this might not work, that is not going to fly, is not going to be possible. Are we no longer practicing democracy? People have decided that they want to go back to their own people that they have the same value system with, people that they have the same ideological and the same value system with. They want to stay with their own people. And you were saying that people were saying that it might not be possible. Why? If you believe that, a lot of people, a lot of them are not buying into the idea, you throw plebiscite, otherwise known as referendum. Let them decide their fate, if they actually want this or not. Why are you scared of it? Why? Why are you scared of people that have decided that this is what we want? We want to stay with our own people, and you are there saying that a lot of people saying that it's almost impossible. Are we not in democracy? I'm asking you, Sheon. Are we not democracy? Anyway, we all know the kind of government we are practicing. Of course we know.
Third reading and then the referendum, the president will take it from there.
A referendum is an expensive task. It's like an election.
It is a plebiscite.
Yeah, it's a plebiscite.
And it will be done.
It will be conducted in Delta.
And the 5 states of
the Southeast.
Of course, yes.
And you think that will happen?
Of course it will happen. It's a process.
The National Assembly has to, the houses of assembly have to concur.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, those are the least of the problems. Because at the right time, Mr. President will call the governors and tell them to append the
reason why I recall your legal your expertise or training is the fact that in the last 27 years, the last person that is able to create a state is the military government. And if you look at the section of the Constitution that states the creation of states, local government, boundary adjustment, and all of that, it makes it extremely difficult to be able to add to what we have in existence. And that's why a lot of lawyers, a lot of legal minds will tell you it's almost an impossibility.
Look, so what the Constitution has done is to provide for steps to be taken, provide for things to be done, and you just follow them. For example, this president is very strategic, and he has done wonderful things. And I know he will still do many wonderful things. But the most important thing that he would have done for us, the Anyomas and the Igbos generally, is to give them that one state. Something that, as you said rightly, that no other civilian administration has done. So he will do it. He will do it because he understands what to do. You know,
and you had this discussion with the president.
Yeah, he will do it because he feels that there must be peace in Southeast. Mr. President understands, and he loves the Igbos, he loves Southeast. He knows that this has to be done to bring peace. He wants peace across Nigeria. And he knows that that is one thing that is needed to bring peace and justice to the Igbos.
Anthropologically, that those who argue otherwise, who will say anthropologically there's no link between Anioma and the Southeast. Anioma still reside anthropologically, culturally, and ideologically in the South.
I've just told you the South was just a recent creation. Before then, I just told you how we were described as Western Igbos, as a Midwestern Igbos, as Bendel Igbos, and now Delta Igbos. So what do they call us Igbos? And as I told you, we all have Igbo names. We all have Igbo culture. We know. Look, I spent 5. Mine is Chinedu, but everybody call me Ned from Nedu.
Oh.
You know, there's no. Do you have any Igbo or any Anioma person in this country?
I'm very sure we do.
Ask them their Igbo name. They'll tell you their Igbo name. And was there any time of war of conquest by Igbos across the Niger that they came to conquer us and that compelled us to bear Igbo names? No. Our market days are 4 market days they want to have, and that's exactly what they have in Southeast. And the history is the same.
Let me quickly ask you this. When you say the Onitsha word for come is bia, how does an Anoman person say?
Bia Beni or Bia neighbor. Look, when an Ndokoman speaks, I will understand. They also understand me. When an Eka person speaks, we understand each other. I just told you there are different dialects. London, for example, has different dialects. From east of London to west of London to south of London to they all have different dialects.
Senator,
they all speak English.
Senator, so we're totally out of time. I'd like to get your final thought.
Anioma will be done as a state in Southeast, and that will bring peace to Southeast, because some of my people are worried about the unrest in Southeast, and I'm assuring them that there will be peace in Southeast once an Anioma state is created as the choice of the of the Igbos. Now, what has happened is that the National Assembly Committee has put together a committee to decide on which state to choose from. There are about 7 states from Southeast, and we are one of those states, because we at the public hearing
we have come to the end of this wonderful interview with Ned Nwoko, Senator Ned Nwoko. We thank you for this interview. You spoke very well. Now, I don't know whether you observe something. It's like a show is not even happy about the creation of additional states to the Southeast. The way he talks about it as if he's not even happy at all. This is my opinion. This is my observation. So you that have watched, what do you think? Did you observe something? The same thing that I did? Let me know your thought in the comment section. And has Ned Nwoko spoken very well? Let me know your thought in the comment section.